For that, it's time for the head-to-head. Well, Rylan Clark is still unfairly, in my view, feeling the heat after his comments on This Morning yesterday. Here's a reminder of what he actually said.
I find it absolutely insane that all these people, one, are risking their lives coming across the channel like that they are, but two, when they get here, it does seem, and I think this is why a lot of Labour voters as well are now sitting there going, there's something wrong here. It seems, welcome, come on in. This is the narrative we're being fed.
Yeah.
Here's the hotel. Here's the phones. Here's the iPad. Here's the NHS in reception of your hotel. Here's 3 meals a day. Here's a games room in the hotel. Have a lovely time and welcome. And then there's people that have lived here all their lives that are struggling.
Yeah.
How homeless. Let's not even discuss our homeless.
Yeah.
That are people living on the streets, veterans, all of this.
What's wrong with that? It's a perfectly normal view. He even caveated it right at the start by saying that he understands that this country's built on immigration. We have loads of great immigrants who work in our public services, etc. Some viewers took to social media to share their support. Others have berated him. I mean, in response to the backlash, Rylan posted, "You can be pro-immigration and against illegal routes. You can support trans people and have the utmost respect for women. You can be heterosexual and still support gay rights." The list continues. Stop with this putting everyone in a box exercise and maybe have conversations instead of shouting on Twitter. Yeah, OK. So, did Rylan go too far? Or, actually, is he spot on? Joining us now is Lizzie, who I believe is friends with Rylan, and Ben Mclaine as well. Thank you very, very much. Lizzie, I'll start with you. Well, do you think Rylan's being unfairly treated here?
I think it's disgusting. I saw the backlash of this, Patrick, and I was absolutely appalled. He was saying from the heart, he was saying what most of us agree with, and he was on a debate. It was about the newspapers, and literally he had, you know, it was a conversation about what's going on in this country, and he's every right to say how he felt. And many of us are feeling the same thing, Patrick, as you know. And Patrick, I was actually really distressed last night when I saw some of the comments coming at my friend, and it was absolutely appalling, and I'm so upset about it. We live in a country of freedom of speech. We're allowed to say what we think, and he's saying a lot of what all of us are thinking and feeling at the moment. It's fact.
Well, OK, well, it's fair to say not everyone's thinking or feeling it, as I imagine Ben Mclaine, the editor and contributor at Turn Left Media, is about to say to us. Go on then, mate. What do you think about what Rylan said there? Are you all for cancelling him?
Sure. Well, that wasn't short of cancelling him, by the way. That was short to hello. First of all, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. And congratulations on your son's gender reveal.
Thank you.
Really exciting news.
Yes. Good job we bought the right coloured cake. But anyway, yes, carry on.
Yes. Good. Yeah, so when it comes to this case, I always think there's the old adage, facts don't care about your feelings. And there's some things that I don't care about in this whole conversation. First of all, I don't care if it was offensive. I don't care whether he's far right. That question doesn't interest me. And I don't care about presenters getting involved in politics. It's just not a question that interests me. There are, however, 4 things that I do care about in this conversation. First, everything he says, almost everything he says, is factually untrue and based on vague anecdotes rather than well-grounded fact, right? Point 2, the things that I care about, is this misinformation affects real people's lives. Like, for example, Mohammed from Afghanistan, who lives in an asylum hotel because the Taliban tortured him for teaching his sister about science. Like, Rylan's misinformation does directly affect real people, and I think we should always...
Can I ask how? Is that all right? I'm just going to sit with you on this, because I get what you're saying about, you know, he's maybe used the term, like, they get iPads and stuff, and they're not routinely given iPads. Sometimes charities might give people iPads. It's not necessarily from the state. But what he could have said, for example, was like in Oxford, the council there was giving some asylum seekers driving lessons. Or in Croydon, for example, one of the councils there, or the council there, was helping some of them learn skills about how to become nightclub DJs. So he could have very easily used just other, what I think most people might regard as quite ludicrous examples. So, you know, how did his comments directly affect that Afghan gentleman that you mentioned there negatively?
Yeah, well, for example, it spreads the misinformation that leads to, for example, outside of the, it was Potter's International Hotel last year, people were throwing bricks at the window. That undoubtedly negatively affects someone like Mohammed, or one of the boys that he was living with who stood on a IED when he was in Kabul, and is now on crutches as a result. You know, these people are quite vulnerable. And this misinformation affects their lives. But the third thing that I care about, of course, is he also has Tommy Robinson, a multiply convicted fraudster and the founder of the EDL, praising him. And I think you should always be concerned when people like that are happy. And the fourth thing I was going to say is all of it distracts from the growing wealth inequality in Britain, where the top 10% own just under half of all wealth in this country.
Right, okay.
But they want you to be angry at migrants, right? Because
yeah, okay.
About this,
I got what you...
we're not talking about wealth inequality.
I am so livid at what
then.
you're saying. I'm so livid. My friend Rylan didn't incite any racism at all. He was saying what is going on in this country, what people are genuinely concerned and scared about that's going on in their own communities, that's going on in Epping as we speak, that's going on in my local town. And it's disgusting that you're trying to dismiss that in any other way you are saying, because all we're doing is protecting our loved ones and, you know, my kids, and Rylan is knowing what's going on. I'm sorry, it's not right what's going on. We've got illegals coming over nearly 60,000 illegals coming over since Keir Starmer's reign in government. It isn't correct, it's not right, and he's every right to say that. This is on this morning's show, he was on a news debate, they were allowed conversations, and, you know, that's what it's about, it's freedom of speech. Is that what you want? You don't want us to speak freely? Because if that's the case, go to China and live there. We are in a, you know, democratic, I hope, you know, country that we can say and speak how we feel. And he's saying a lot of all of us are feeling at this very moment.
I'll just go on there, I'll give you the final word, yeah.
Yeah, sure. I have, I hear a lot of feelings and not a lot of facts in that statement. Like, I respect where you're coming from in the sense that you feel a certain way about the world, but that doesn't match up with the reality. So British people don't have to accept being a bitter. Hang on, Lizzie. So British people don't have to accept being a bitter, curtain-twitching Big Brother state. They can stand up against this misinformation about migrants. We can stand up for our old ideas: the Magna Carta, habeas corpus, the post-war consensus, and a Britain that is proud to help refugees.
Are you ignoring some information
around
there?
the world?
I mean, we've got
important.
I do wonder if maybe you are slightly ignoring some of the facts there. So, for example, the individual from Morocco who travelled through 13 different countries before stabbing a pensioner to death in Hartlepool. We have had numerous different cases like that, like a lot of cases where it's either been, like, for example, there's a bloke as well recently who's been posing with, well, he was a Houthi rebel, right, and then he found himself in RAF Wethersfield. There's all of these cases, which I do wonder if maybe, Ben, I mean this politely, if you're a little bit guilty of what you're accusing Rylan of doing, which is that you're ignoring the other side of it as well, you know?
Sure, but the plural of anecdote is not facts. The plural of anecdote is misinformation. I have said facts there. So they are happening, aren't they? The plural of anecdotes, excuse me, I meant to say the plural of anecdotes is not data. The plural of anecdotes is misinformation, is the way the phrase goes. And there's a reason for that phrase. It's because in every community, I can point to people who've done horrific things.
Okay.
Like, that doesn't really represent the whole of the data, and it's the big picture that I'm interested in.
Did you listen to what Rylan actually said? I don't think you actually listened, because he actually said that, you know, migrants actually, you know, looked after his mother. He was talking about the illegals that are coming over in their droves, hundreds of thousands, and he was saying something isn't right. And you didn't actually listen to what he was saying. First order of any government is look after its own people. And sadly, this government isn't doing it.
All right, look, sorry, guys, we could do a whole show on this, couldn't we? But thank you very much. All right, all the best, both of you. Really, really appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much. That is, of course, the one and only Lizzie Cundy and Ben Mclaine as well, editor and contributor at Turn Left Media. Right.